Yeah, cool.
Here we go.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Good. Thank you again for being here. This is our Student Alliance Town Hall meeting for the week, and our topic this week is ERCC Get Help. We're gonna start right now with just an introduction, go around introducing ourselves. Tell us what organization you're part of, and then we're gonna answer the fun question of the day, is what Disney character you would be? What Disney character you would be?
Main character?
Disney.
Oh, Disney.
Yes.
So I'll go for the introduction. My name is Araceli. I am the Student Affairs Director for Student Alliance. And if I had to be a Disney character, I would want to be Winnie the Pooh. Just, I don't know. Just because he's not, I don't know. I love Winnie the Pooh. That's the only reason why.
Hello, my name is Robin. I'm the external president of the Asia Student Union. And what Disney character I would choose, probably magic user, maybe like, any magic user, maybe the one in Aladdin, actually, the evil one.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Brandon. I'm with Student Alliance as Director of Operations. And if I had to be a Disney character, I'd be Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. In any other story, he would be considered the good guy and the leader. And then just in a Disney movie, he's considered the villain.
That's a good one.
Hey, I'm Ashley. I co-advise Student Alliance and the Garden Club, and I'm really torn, either Tarzan or, the girl from Tangled. It's like Rapunzel, but not Rapunzel.
Just
Yeah,
Rapunzel.
it's just, yeah, it's Rapunzel. Yeah, some cross between those two.
My name is Rebecca. I'm here representing the Garden Club, although I'm also part of GTU. And I would probably say Anna because my daughter is completely Elsa from Frozen and has us reenact it all the time. So I know all the lines anyway. So it's a good pick.
Hi, I'm Alex Matusik. I'm Vice President of the Garden Club, and I would be Goofy.
That's classic. I like it. I'm Lina. I co-advise Student Alliance and work in student life. And today I'm here to talk a little bit about College Action Project 3.3, addressing student hunger and homelessness. And if I had to pick, choose to be a Disney character, I would be. I like the classic, like being along the lines of classic. I would like.
Cinderella.
What is it?
Cinderella's,
Cinderella?
the fairy godmother.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'll take that, Robin. The fairy godmother in Cinderella. I'm game. Perfect.
All right, and I'm Brendan. I'm the president of Student Alliance. And for me, for Disney character, I would go with Stitch because I just have been a big fan of Stitch since I was like little. So yeah, I would go with Stitch. And I can be crazy and weird at once. Stitch is crazy and weird. Does anyone in the audience want to go? We have like 3 people in the audience. I guess not.
I can go. I'm Sandy. I'm one of the co-cap champions with 1.3, and I work in student success and retention. If I had to be a Disney character, I think I would be Sebastian from Little Mermaid.
That's a good one.
Bossy, but has a good heart.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Linda. I'm here with the Garden Club. I'm the treasurer of the Garden Club. I'm actually making my way to be there live because it's really hard to hear you guys. And if I had to be a character, I would be Aladdin so I could fly on a magic carpet.
Nice.
Hey guys, I'll go. I'm sick today, so I'm here virtually, but I'm Becca and I'm the new communications director for the Student Alliance. And I guess if I were to be a Disney character, I'd probably choose Anna or Elsa, but I don't know which one I would be. I just love them. I love that movie.
I don't think I'm missing anyone. am
Just, Linda's comment makes me think we all need to just talk a little bit louder.
I? Yeah,
It's cool.
cool. So at this time, I'd like to invite Garden Club to talk about their allocation request. So we're gonna turn it over to you guys. Did you want me to share my screen for you guys with your request, or?
If you feel the need to, go ahead, otherwise I'm good just talking about it, unless you need to see the breakdown again.
You're good, you can go ahead and talk. I was just making sure with you guys.
Yeah, so we are putting in a request so that we can build raised beds on campus where our current plot is. A few of these reasons is just like, we'd like to create like an established legacy here on campus. We'd like something that's sustainable, and we've learned throughout the previous growing season that it currently is not so. Right now, growing in the ground has issues with things like pests, unwanted fertilizer from the nearby grass hitting it. The soil quality is pretty diminished right now. We're getting a lot of water runoff as a result. So the idea was building these raised beds could create this community team effort that we could bring our club members together and other students on campus to have this established presence that is also more easily accessible just by nature of the height. It removes the issues with the rabbits getting into bed. We can insert a drip irrigation system to handle the issues with water. So I don't know how much more you want me to touch on that. I know you guys reviewed it last week, and a huge thank you to Alex for taking over since I couldn't be here. A change that I did want to bring up because we learned very recently within this last week, one of the things that was in the budget was for a mural creation to kind of be a collaboration with the art department. They are going to be starting this winter reconstruction, and the art studio will not be available at all. So with that, our club, we would like to postpone that for a new allocation request next year instead for the mural. Working with Professor Scott Gerard in the art department, he has some connections and will give us more time to figure out a little bit more specifics and details from him. But with that, the cost estimate is instead $2,000. That covers all the materials that we need in transport for getting the materials to build those raised beds. So it has a wooden outer frame with a galvanized steel in the center that would still have the ability to add the murals in the future, should that be an area we would like to expand in the coming years. And then it also covers just some general equipment use that we need on site. The watering cans were completely broken down. I don't think we had a working watering can this past season at all. It includes getting the tomato cages, the irrigation system set up, so it's a lot easier for members to do the watering on campus to have a good yield, as well as some trellises to go in between the garden beds.
Anything else you guys would like to add? Or any your person in the audience, Linda, did you want to add anything? Alex? Cool. So the next step we'll have is the vote on this allocation request,
Discussion.
or let's
Yep.
have discussion about that,
Yep.
sorry.
So with the discussion aspect of it, the one thing that I would ask is if you could do a new request with that reduced amount on it, just so it's not approving the $5,500 and it's a little bit easier to keep track of what we're approving.
Correct, yeah, we wanted to ask about that because we learned about some of this last minute, and so we want to make sure, like, absolutely that you get the correct paperwork, so I can make sure that I send it in after this.
Okay.
Another mechanism to do that, if you guys wanted to talk about that today instead of submitting a whole separate one. Brendan, can you scroll down to what I think I want to make sure I'm getting it right. So the mural creation and installation, you're saying it goes from 3,500 down to 2,000? Is that what you said?
Correct. We're requesting 5,500 total and 35 was for that. And if you scroll further down, so there wasn't a good breakdown in exactly where that cost came from because that was still a little bit in the works
Sure.
with Professor Gerard. And he thought that there could be a possibility to get it lower depending on its connections and the time of year. Based off of donations, he was letting us use the studio for free. Some of it comes from him pulling up and drawing out the design for us. If you scroll all the way like further down, I wrote incorrectly that it was for garden bed A or B. So it was actually supposed to be garden bed A and B. So outside of the science building here, it would be like the outside here, which is visible along that grass walkway for all the students. And as well as right here, which is visible by the entrance over here to the science center. So that would be the cost of 2 full, I believe it was 15-foot murals each for that. So I want to make sure that was clear. So but that would, when we talk about when, it wouldn't be until not this winter, but then the next winter. So we didn't know even if we pushed the budget through today, if that funds would even be able to roll over, where we just have to probably do a new allocation request regardless.
Right, yep, that's an awesome question. So, yeah, any allocated funds would need to be spent by June 30th. So, sounds like the whole 3,500 could just be taken out of the request. And then you guys could plan on asking for it for next year, right?
Yeah, when we're ready to do it, because we talked about, we could look at a different facility to do it, but it was important for our club to keep it within the school in collaboration and have the possibility to open it to other art students and other club members on campus.
So can you go back to like the total cost? So is it 49.66?
Yeah, so it should be like 1,466.51 or something like that.
In that, we weren't able to calculate anything like taxes, just because the cost of wood and some of the materials does fluctuate. If you are willing to scroll up a little bit more too.
Wouldn't we be tax exempt then? Education.
We are tax exempt, yep.
Okay, well, then that makes a difference too. But the lumber cost does change, like, so anywhere when I looked at it, it kind of has been fluctuating between $6 to $10, depending on when. So that's where some of like the extra money in there that's not specifically written out, where we put it towards.
Yeah, so the total cost then today, without the mural, would be like that you guys are asking for $1,466, right?
I think we were asking for the full 2,000 to kind of cover some of that fluctuation that might be there.
Got it, okay.
Knowing that some of it might not be used.
I see
we
what you're
could
saying,
Give
yep.
it back to you guys at the end of it.
Yep. So if you, procedurally, you guys, if you wanted to, you could do a couple things. You could say, we want Garden Club to resubmit a request that is like without the mural, so like at 2,000. Or you can have a conversation and someone could make a motion to reduce the allocation to 2,000. Vote yes or no on that, and then vote yes or no to approve it or deny it. So you can go either way, but if you know, you guys should talk about it, but if you're thinking like, this is a great idea, we want to keep this moving forward, that would be the way to do it, in my opinion.
I would like
Proceed.
to put forward the motion for reducing the 5,500 amount down to 2,000.
I second that.
Yeah.
So then a vote.
Yeah, and at this time, we would like the vote.
All in favor of, all in favor of reducing the Garden Club allocation from 5,500 to 2,000, say aye.
Just raise your hand. Okay, it says an aye for chat
We
too.
have some eyes there, yep.
Good. So it's approved. Let's Sorry, this is like the first allocation.
This, yep, that's why I'm a little
So,
bit more
yeah,
vocal than normal,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was
Yep.
thinking So the next step is for Van to go, reconnect the center, or do they need to reset and submit a new one?
They wouldn't need to resubmit a new one, but you would have to still, the whole thing has, the $2,000 hasn't been approved.
Okay.
You just made an alteration to what was proposed. So now, I mean, there's still time for discussion, but if you, whenever you're ready to get to the point of a vote, you still need a motion to approve the allocation at 2,000, a second, and then a vote.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's have a discussion before we put in a motion. Does anyone have anything to add from audience standpoint, student online standpoint, garden club standpoint, or anything you guys want to add?
Were you guys able to catch some of the reason why we bumped it down? About why we're postponing the mural? I know you guys walked in late, so I didn't know if you caught it. So basically, we don't have the facility to do the mural this year because the art department is under reconstruction. So, and we want to be, rather than looking somewhere else to do it, we want to keep it within GRCC. So we're just gonna postpone it a year and like just focus on the garden beds alone right now.
I'd rather do that than the other way around.
So,
Anybody else? I think Linda's almost here, so we'll just wait a second for that thing.
Yeah.
it looks like
I'll give
she's
him my
almost
check.
here.
She's almost here, so we'll let her get here, then we'll put in the motion and everything.
Okay.
Everyone have a good week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, could I say, I have a comment. I really
Go
like how you structured your proposal. It was very easy to read. It was, yeah. That's the only comment I had on the proposal.
Thank you so much. I worked so hard. And we didn't really know how to how we were supposed to do it either at first. We got working on it before we knew what the parameters even were, so. Does that say slides?
I just smiled, saying- That pops up, I guess.
Is Linda close?
She's in the elevator.
I think she's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the elevator, actually. Did you ask me a question?
We're waiting on you to vote.
Oh, I'll be right there.
You're good.
I'll show you how we can edit the proposal if it passes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can even just throw it to Van.
Later.
She's here.
Oh, I gotta turn this off.
Cool.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'd like to motion the $2,000 allocation request for a vote.
I second that motion. Okay, so we're gonna do a vote now. So I show hands, who, if you agree to vote, pass on this vote, raise your hand. Okay, so that's basically.
You're a student, right?
Yeah.
Raise your,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to vote, you get to vote.
Awesome. Van, can you help Rebecca when you get the chance to help show how to do it for us?
Were there any virtual votes too?
What?
Was anyone virtually that voted?
We got a chat bubble that said, I do, from Becca.
So one virtual, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Sorry, it was a little rough, I apologize. This was the first one I was leading, so I apologize.
All right. That's great.
We voted and they agreed to pass it.
Oh,
Welcome back.
I guess I abstained.
All right,
Nice work, you guys. That's awesome. Yeah, it's the first big allocation of the year.
Yeah.
So nice work.
and it was like our first big one ever, so.
Yeah.
Well, we're super excited. Get some cool things going.
Awesome.
And you can probably expect them next year too.
Love it.
Awesome. So at this time, the floor is yours, Lana, Sandy, to talk about your presentation.
Awesome. Can you throw up the slides?
Yep, just gonna have 1 second to get there.
Look at that. You're on it.
There we go. Yeah.
What's that?
So there we go.
I'm just gonna, yeah, walk around so I can see the slides a little bit. I won't move too much, but maybe I'll stand back here by Brendan. Well, hi guys. I know we all know each other, but part of the work that I haven't gotten to talk about with you all yet is some of the work about I lead with Sandy, lead a team of people, a college action project that's all about addressing student basic needs and securities. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. So sorry if I'm repeating. I tried to make it interesting for everyone. And so Sandy introduced herself earlier. She's here virtually with me. And so she can jump in and chime in when I forget something. But we wanted to give you all kind of an update about where this project is at. We've been working on it for 4.5 years. And then also wanted to kind of ask you guys to kind of join the circle and help out with some things that we have ideas about. So next slide. Cool. So we have participated, the college has participated in 3 surveys over the last 4 years. The Hope Center is a nationally recognized organization that is all about figuring out what's going on college campuses related to student basic needs and securities. Hey, how's it going? Actually, you can grab my sweater and you can sit there. Cool. And so 2016 was the first time we participated in that survey. We had 426 participants and it took place in September of 16. There was a COVID-19 survey that came out last April, in April of 2020. And there were 1,554 participants. And then in last September, we did another version of that survey and we had about 1,000 participants. So that gives you kind of an idea of like, we structured this presentation kind of giving you the data over the last 4 years. And we're working on another survey to take place this week. So hopefully this longitudinal research about what students are experiencing here on campus will help us kind of tailor what we do to address these kinds of things. So food insecurity is defined as limited or uncertain availability of nutritionally adequate and safe food, or the ability to acquire that food in a socially acceptable way, not stealing it, not eating it out of a dumpster, that kind of thing, right? So you can read the rest of the definition, but the rates of food insecurity among GRCC students have changed over the last 4 years. In 2016, students told us about 45% of them who took the survey were food insecure, so that's half of the people that are walking around the hallways. In the COVID-19 survey, 34% of our students said that they were experiencing food insecurity, and 29% in last September said that they were experiencing it. That's a huge jump, right? Like that's 16% of our students are experiencing that less. I think that has a lot to do with you guys and all of the work that our College Action Project has done in tandem with you to address food insecurity through the food pantry. And so we'll talk a little bit more about the food pantry, but we think that we're making headway on that, and that's exciting. Go for it. So housing insecurity, basically what housing insecurity means, we use the HUD definition, but like are people at risk of losing their housing because they can't pay their rent or mortgage? Are they at risk of losing it because they can't pay their utilities? Are they couch surfing? That kind of thing. So over the years, 36% in 2016, the beginning of 2020, 34% said they were housing insecure, and 40% at the end of last year. So that's a different trend, right? We're trending up. We think that there's some things going on in our community that are making it a little bit less possible for students to have more housing security. And we also know that we need more people to help students with this issue on campus. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that, but those numbers it's all concerning to me, but these numbers are especially concerning to me. If we're talking about more than a third of students not knowing where they're gonna sleep, that's a lot. You know, that's scary. All right. Homelessness, that definition is based on the McKinney-Vento definition of homelessness. So among GRCC students, over the years, we've increased 1% each time we've done this survey. And it basically means that our students have slept either outside or in their cars 2 nights in the last 30 days when they took this survey. So we know that a fair number of our students are truly homeless, at least a couple nights in the past month. Go for it. The most recent survey that we participated in talked a lot or asked a lot of questions. They kind of expanded the survey to address other concerns that students are experiencing. And I thought this information would be valuable to you all as you are talking about and thinking about how we can support each other on campus. So that COVID-19 survey was again last spring. The 2020 survey was at the end of last year. So, you know, we know that a good number of our students are experiencing some anxiety, depression. They aren't able to concentrate on their education because there's so much other stuff going on in the world. A lot of our students are taking care of other family members. They're missing class because of childcare arrangements. They're having issues with the internet and computers, reduced work hours, losing jobs, that kind of thing. So, you know, again, as we kind of move through this, at least our team is really thinking about not just food and not just housing, but kind of the whole picture of what a student's experiencing. And like, we're talking about at least a third in every category right here of our students experiencing these things. So our group, while it's not necessarily our responsibility, has taken on the efforts to help think about a student's experience as a whole student rather than just pieces and parts, because all these things are related and all these things depend on each other, right? Go for it. So the Hope survey also asked questions about like, why aren't students using the resources that exist, like the food pantry or student stimulus money that happened last year, or financial aid or special programs, that kind of thing. So this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. And I think I see this every day. I think Sandy probably sees this every day, but most of our students, 76%, are saying they either don't think that they're eligible or they don't think that they are needy enough, that they need that help more than other people. And so we have a lot of very scrappy, very humble, very hardworking students. And I want to make sure that our students know that we are rallying the troops, that we want to help, and that everybody deserves help when they're struggling, right? So our team actually recently had some videos created. This is the one that's focused on students. So we've been sharing this with faculty and staff, with other students, that kind of thing. I thought today would be a good venue to kind of share that, so go for it. This year's you told us that 29% Maybe we're not gonna play it.
That's how it went down.
Really? All right, you can scoot out of it. Thanks, Brendan. We will, we'll send this presentation out and we'll get it out to you guys. But really, the strength of that video, in my opinion, is that you get to hear student stories and you get to hear from other students about what they're experiencing and what resources they've used, and they end up talking about encouraging other students to take advantage of the resources that exist. So don't hesitate to check that one out. So this project, this team has been working on this for 4.5 years. What do we do? Like, what's the college doing right now to help students? And so our group, and this is like a very high level, like we have a page of, Sandy, how many projects have we worked on since this project started?
I think we're at 136.
We have a running list of 136 things that we've done so far, and where that project status is and who we've talked to and who led the charge. So again, like, this is a very short list compared to what all of the things. But the big ideas that we're working on are to spread campus-wide awareness. So you probably, I would hope, seen some Get Help information around campus. We've had the Get Help information. We created that webpage that has a bunch of different resources on campus and off for basic needs and securities. We've got that put on syllabus, like every class syllabus should have that information in it. Faculty should be talking about it. There's a poster in every classroom. There's 10 banners around campus. There's snack pantry signs everywhere. So hopefully there's some awareness out there. We created that Get Help webpage. If you could go to that, that would be sweet. So if you go to grcc.edu/gethelp and scroll down a little bit, there is an, like, if you click on emergency funding, for instance, you got it. Cool. So at the top of every one of these pages, you can see the contact form. Any student, faculty, or staff, or anyone can fill that out and let us know that a student needs help. And between Sandy and I, we reach out to them usually the same day to just start rolling up our sleeves and helping them address their needs, their concerns, that kind of thing. And then we do have an emergency fund, so that intake form is on that page as well. So that's number one. Like, we want to help students face to face, and I hope that the Get Help page addresses some of the kind of initial things. Like, Sandy and I and our team are kind of the opinion that, like, when you're scrambling and you're stressed out and you don't know where to go, like, if you just type in help to the search box on the GRCC webpage, it should take you here. And we worked with community partners, like if you click on childcare, which just was added this weekend, people. So this childcare page is a good example. Like, we don't have much going on campus, but we've done the research and the looking and the digging to find the resources that we think students would use most effectively or would be the best for them, and tried to cut out some of that, like, looking and digging and all of that when a student is in crisis, right? So there's childcare, like I said, just got added. Legal aid just got added a couple weeks ago. We've got mental health, medical, dental, and vision, technology stuff like loaner laptops. All of that is right here on this Get Help page. Cool. I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Cool. We have the food pantry. Like I said earlier, our numbers have gone down in the past couple of years significantly. 15–16% of our students, fewer of our students are struggling with food insecurity, and we think that has a lot to do with the food pantry. Before the pandemic, we had about 130 to 150 regular users of the food pantry for a whole year. The pandemic, we've served over 2,000. And so we think that that has made a big difference in the level of food insecurity on our campus decreasing. So students can access the food pantry once a week. They come into our office. We also offer a lot more. Before it was just canned goods and pasta and rice. Now it's frozen meat, fresh produce, frozen fruit, dried fruit, canned goods, baby food, diapers, wipes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, laundry soap, dish soap, all the things. It's like a little grocery store. So that's been pretty amazing. And honestly, you guys, Student Alliance has given a lot to that in the last year and a half. I think $37,000 in addition to your regular $4,000 a year. So that has made a huge difference to students, and you guys should all pat yourselves on the back on that one for sure. The snack pantries, we before the pandemic had 5 snack pantries across campus. We've got 10 right now. And those are spots where students can just grab and go, like a granola bar or trail mix, something like that. So that they're not sitting in class hangry and not able to focus. Like I mentioned, we have the emergency fund. Sandy manages that one. Sandy, you want to take this?
Sure. So we've seen the same thing. Before the pandemic, we had students who were applying for the emergency fund. We were giving out some money, but once the pandemic hit, and the awareness is out there, we have seen such an increase in this. And we have students who are asking for just a variety of things. We have students who, with our Future for Frontliners and our Reconnect students, those funds cover their tuition. They don't necessarily cover their textbooks. So we've had students who've come in and said, hey, I'm back, I'm here, I'm going to school, I'm ready to go. And then they realize they can't afford their textbooks. So we've had students ask for things like that. We had a student this semester who was getting to campus on their bike and their bike broke. They needed funds to fix their bike or get a new bike. We've had students who are just out of a domestic violence situation and they need help to get started again. It just kind of runs through any possible scenario you could think of. And so what we're trying to do with that emergency fund is help them with finances that can allow them to focus on class and be successful in their classes. We're scrambling to get those funds institutionalized. The increased demand has put us in a place where we're trying to figure out, how do we sustain that? How do we make that sustainable for the long term? But again, you guys helped us with that last year too. And we were very appreciative of that. And one thing I want to kind of go back to what, Lion has been talking about is this increased awareness. So this goes back to Learning Day when we had Dr. Sarah Goldrick Robb here right before the pandemic. We were getting the word out there. We're getting the word out to students. We're getting the word out to faculty, those posters. The need has always been there, right? But it wasn't acknowledged. It wasn't advertised that we have resources here. So that's our goal. We want to continue to get the word out. We want to make sure that students know that we're here to help them. We know that it's hard to ask for help, but we want to make sure that it's easy for them to find the help. And so that's where all of these things are. The snack pantries being visible, 10 of them across campus, the food pantry, the posters, the Get Help page. We want to make it easy for students to find the help that they need, because we know that when they have to ask us, that's a hard thing. And so you guys being part of this is really great. And we have some ideas that we'll talk about in a little while.
Awesome, thanks, Sandy. Housing help, right now, we have that intake form, and when a student says that they're struggling with housing, Sandy or I, or maybe a community partner, like right now, Arbor Circle is holding office hours in student life. We basically roll up our sleeves and start like trying to solve the problem. Like the solution is never the same, the issue is never the same. There's a ton of resources in town, and again, it takes time and effort to like, and a little bit of know-how, I guess, to try to navigate that system. So we want to help students navigate that system. Again, building community partnerships, getting them on our resource page, making it so that when we call, or a student from GRCC calls, and we say we're from GRCC, that that we get help right away. So that a lot of that has to do with like having good relationships with community partners or bringing them to campus so that they can meet directly with students and it's convenient for students. They don't have to go somewhere else to get help. We have, like Sandy mentioned, working on building awareness around faculty and staff and helping them understand the issue, because Sandy and I, or our team, or even all of you guys, like when we're talking about a third to a half of our students struggling with these things, we can't fix that for everyone, right? So we need to build like a whole crew of people who know how to help, know what the resources are, and at least know how to get started for a student. So, and to have a little bit of empathy, for faculty and staff to have a little bit of empathy when you're asking for an extension and you say that you're dealing with housing insecurity, like they get it, right? So like, we're trying to help people understand what some of those struggles that are happening for students feel like. And I think that builds into this idea of working with the student as a whole person and taking care of each other and having an attitude of we care about each other, we are closely connected, we're a community that depends on each other. And so a lot of the messaging and conversations and training and all the things really focus on building that culture of care and that kind of community atmosphere where we are all mutually dependent upon each other.
Do you want media to show the video?
Give me just a second. Very cool. Go ahead, Brendan. So our team has some hopes and dreams, and I'm sharing this with you guys so that you kind of know like where we're headed, because we're about to ask you for some help. And so our primary goal is to create a single-stop shop for student basic needs and securities and creating an environment on campus that destigmatizes asking for help, right? Like that is the number one, that is what we're after. And so we have all these pieces and parts and we're trying to like get it together, but we need some help. So what goes into that is that holistic approach. We're currently working on a clothing closet, laundry access, those kinds of things. We're working on or would like to realign some services so that a student only has to talk to one person and tell their story one time so that they can get some help, not have to go around and get the shuffle and like, you know, tell everybody all their, you know, air the dirty laundry, right? Because it's hard to ask for help. So we want to make it so that you only have to ask for help one time. We also would like to hire somebody from Health and Human Services, a family independent specialist who can not only help directly, help students directly, but train our faculty and staff. You can go back, yeah. You're good. So yeah, hire someone from Health and Human Services. We're working on with another team that exists on campus to integrate this EAB system that that Dr. Mullen in Student Success and Retention is working on, so that we can help students get alerts when we have help available, when they can let us know when they're struggling, that kind of thing. We're working on advocacy within the city and the county to address students' housing needs, because we know housing is a major issue. And that project status list that Sandy mentioned, that we have like 134 projects, that's linked up if you guys want to see all the things that we've worked on. So, so that's kind of like, hopefully that helps you understand like what we're after. So if you can go to the next slide.
Hey, Lina, before we jump in, when I just want to throw something out there. So we call this our hopes and dreams, but I want you guys to understand that we have a plan. We have a proposal that encapsulates all of these things. So these are our hopes, these are our dreams, but we know that in order to make those things happen, we have a plan in place. So we've put forward a proposal that incorporates all these things. We've started to look at this care team. We've started to use this tool, this Navigate system, to allow us to see when a student has, you know, if there's an alert raised on a student, like they've shared, a faculty member says they've shared some stories with me and they need a little help, but they don't want to ask. We can see that if there's other things going on with that student, we might be able to see that too. So having us get that notification and then us being able to say, you know what, let's talk about the student. I think they need this resource and this resource and this resource. So we're trying to incorporate all of those things with them. So yes, these are our hopes and dreams, but we have a plan. And we just want to make sure you guys are aware that there's things going on. We've got the gears going in the background. But our hopes and dreams kind of rely on that proposal and that plan and some of those things getting approved.
Thanks for that clarification, Sandy. So what else do you want to know about this project? And then we can talk a little bit about like what we're missing and what ideas you might have to help and what ideas we might need your help with. So question and answer right now, I guess.
So my first question are these services only for current students or can alumni use them too?
That's an awesome question. Right now, I would say, yesterday there was a student in my office and she was just asking for some advice about some housing help because she lost her housing last week. I stopped. We talked some things out and then I called her last night actually when I got home from work because I had gotten a couple answers on some things. So those kinds of things like we could probably help with. Students, currently enrolled students can use the emergency fund and the food pantry. So like the things that cost money, you know, where there's like funding associated with it, is for currently enrolled students. But again, this is about taking care of each other. And so if somebody needs some help and I can help direct them to like some community partners, I'm happy to do it.
And my other question was, is the emergency fund like a grant or are we expecting some kind of payback into it?
Yeah, it's, most of the time it's a grant. We have both. And it just depends on a student's financial aid. Maybe Sandy, you can talk about how you kind of dig into that.
Yes, so we have a whole process. When we get those requests, we have, my boss had me put together a process chart and I think there's like 15 different steps. We have different funding available. We have some funds available in the bookstore. So if a student's asking for funds for a textbook, we might dip into that one. We have a special scholarship that has certain criteria that we have to follow. So if a student applies and they meet that criteria, I work with the foundation to award a scholarship for that student. So that wouldn't have to be paid back. We look at if they have a means of repaying, if they are requesting a loan. Generally, what that means is if they have a substantial financial aid refund coming later in the semester and it's early and they really just need some access to some of that money, we might do a loan for that student. And the way that loan works is if we loan them $500, which is the maximum that a student can get if they're full-time. If we loan that $500 to them, it gets paid back to the college and then they receive the remainder of their financial aid refund. So we kind of go through all these steps of how we can help a student. And if they don't qualify for any of these other steps, then we look at them as a grant recipient. And that's honestly our last step because those funds are limited and they aren't replenished, where the loan fund is replenished. If we loan a student 500, it's replenished into that fund. So that fund is stable. We know we're going to be able to do that for a long time. But the grant fund, we have to kind of exhaust all of our other options first. But that being said, some of those options up at the top, the bookstore fund, the scholarship fund, those are considered grants too. They're not necessary to be repaid.
Yeah. I just have to say too, like as a compliment or an indicator of like how we're doing this work, like Sandy has helped to create this process where like that used to be a bunch of different applications for students, right? Like they used to have to kind of scrap that thing together. Sandy has taken it, her process used to be one step, you know, or two steps, but it's 15 because we only want to have to make a student say one time that they need help. We can do the legwork when a student's struggling, you know, so I like that's an awesome kind of example of like the attitude that our group has. So it's good stuff. What other questions do you guys have? What are we missing? Like, do you guys know about Get Help? Like, do students know about it? Are there specific things that we're not thinking of, that you didn't hear about, that you want to hear about?
Just looking at the cards like on the table on the way and it says get help, I assumed they went right to like mental emotional help. I didn't really see anything that says free food. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes that actually gets our attention more so.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Cool,
more
yeah.
free food options for kids. I know it's students, I know it's been difficult with the pandemic to get together, community and eat, but
Yeah.
maybe if it's an event where everyone's welcome, with more of that, getting that back going.
Yeah.
And also I was under the impression that some of the remodels and like those homes up by Seton were already doing this. I misunderstood. I thought that they would be having housing for some of our students. I thought there'd already be closet, more food pantry, more accessible, like healthy, healthful foods too. I'm feeling like bummed because I was really hoping it was already done.
Yeah, the housing part?
Yeah, I thought that was part of it. I
Oh,
misunderstood.
they are old houses, but they're office buildings.
Well, that's, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Yes.
I will add on to that, so like I'm not on campus much, it's hard for me to get out here, and everything's online, and when I've seen the Get Help thing, because a lot of online stuff is like focused on like tutoring or like, you know, class resources. So on the other end, yeah, maybe there's times where it's like a little more specific, maybe you say like 1 week out of the semester, we're gonna change the posters and get help, and then the next big captioning is gonna be housing. Then maybe the next week is get help, and the next one is, you know, food resources, or, and you know, maybe you like have separate posters that you cycle each week, it's a bit of work. But I mean, like, I thought it was purely regarding like tutoring and technology resources,
Yeah.
not the whole big picture either.
Hmm.
But because of the nature of being online, that's what I thought it related to.
Okay.
I didn't think much else of it.
Okay,
When I
cool.
looked at it, stuff like that.
Robin, you had something?
Yes, I wrote some details about what I thought about it.
Okay.
This is some, from my experience as a knowledge from GRC and students. Talk about accessibility / promoting examples like Get Help banners and buildings or Get Help for students. I feel that a lot of students don't even know Get Help until I realize that they need help and I tell them about it. Yep, there's a variety of resources in JCC, but the thing is to know, but also know how to reach out and use the resources. You can know about it, but don't even know how to access resources. Another thing is empathizing, an easy way to talk to someone / chat with Get Help on the site, because I feel it's more personal than sometimes the form. Examples like some doctors, so there to be efficient and help, but empathy is very important to understand and feel comfortable for help, like as you said, Elena. My experiences and calling Student Life as the main thing about reaching resources, feel more personal, helping myself and students. An example would be talking to someone, and they direct me to Get Help when I honestly just want to talk about my situation. It's difficult to reach out with head honchos, helping so many students like Lionel or Ashley here, and to talk personally about it. Staff are very important to help, but what if the staff is already helping? And you can't help multiple people when you're helping other students as well. As said, Ann Arbor's research, but maybe more motion or more one-on-ones to know about all the students and such. Yeah.
Cool, so awareness, I'm hearing a lot of like awareness, like what is this? What are you guys after? Like, how can we get more people helping students, more one-on-one, more face-to-face, that kind of thing, okay? Yeah.
Another thought, on Blackboard, they have like the Title IX stuff, plus they also have like the student orientation. Is any of this implemented into the orientation that's required for all new online students?
And especially as a way of, it's hard for them if they're not on campus to even see anything,
Mhm,
or know where to go for those resources.
mhm.
And then could that even be created into its own category of itself, like do both, where like you have it briefly in the orientation, that they can get the gist of it, and it's like, okay, if I want to know more information, then on the Blackboard, there's that actual like course, whatever, that they could go through and maybe click through each of those options. Housing, clothing, childcare.
Mhm.
So it's not just on the GRCC website only, but there's actually a breakdown in there as well.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that's something to think about. Awesome idea, very cool. It is in orientation, but I think Blackboard, that's a great idea, yep.
Something I thought about is maybe tabling like in front of like, on a nice day, like table outside, get people to come approach like at a table.
I think that's a great idea. Can I share the idea that we need help with?
Go ahead.
Sandy, I think Brendan just nailed it.
I just thought that.
I heard that. Brendan, you got right where we were hoping you guys would get. You know,
Yeah, so we do a lot of talking, Sandy and I and Holly and our other teammates and stuff, but like students, I don't think I'm that old, but like, I think students just don't, they want to hear from students,
Mhm.
They want to hear from you guys, they want to hear from other students, and like, I think part of that, like, student to student saying, it's okay to ask for help, here's the things that the school can help with, we are all one big crew, we want to take care of each other, might go a long way in terms of awareness. And so, we were wondering if you guys could help us table and set up some tents outside for a couple days in the next couple weeks, to start to kind of drive some awareness and drive some like make it okay, make it less like, I'm trying to think of like.
I think it goes back to the slide where we talked about why students aren't using the resources. Some of them are ashamed, some of them don't think that they, people like them don't use the program, they're embarrassed. They didn't know they existed. And so some of these points, I think you guys can address as students, as peers, and we've seen this happen. We had one of our health programs, a student came in one week to use the food pantry, didn't know about it. Next week, they brought back 6 or 7 of their students in their class with them. And they were like, we didn't know about this. This is great. So that word of mouth, that destigmatization, letting them know that, hey, people like me do use this program. I think coming from you guys, it's going to carry a lot more weight than coming from us.
If we set something like that up and made it real easy for y'all to just show up is that something that you could help us with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
To add on,
Yeah.
when you do that, would it be possible to get like loaner laptops that are, maybe not to hand out to students, but to have there ready on those pages, so if any student is there like, I need to sign up for it.
yeah,
Like, if they want to do it on their own, they can sit on their own, maybe like, I don't know, like even like, if a possible cubicle could be set up where they feel like they could have some privacy to go and do it, and if they want someone to come in and help them, they could, but that way they have the ability of, okay, I'm hearing about this here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna make any excuses, I don't have to worry about what resources I have at home to get this figured out, I can do it here now.
cool, yeah, I think that's a super great idea, and we could even have some people posted up in the office, maybe some of our community partners to be ready right then and there to let's get somebody signed up and let's walk them inside and get them food or get them housing assistance or whatever, and we have separate private offices to do that, so that's a great idea.
You mentioned doing it outside. Any sponsors who want to do some free food, so you can advertise that so that
Yeah.
everyone's welcome.
For sure, yeah, awesome. Yeah, let's make it a big, what if we had a food truck and make it a thing, a fun thing, yeah, that's awesome. We might need some help with money on that one.
Sandy, just raise their hand.
Sandy, go for it.
Sure.
Sorry, I've got a little helper who's messing with my earbuds here. So one thought is if you guys are willing to do that, I love the idea of having them be able to sign up right then. They don't want to take advantage of that day, that's fine. I think Ashley's in the room, is that right?
Here.
So one of the things that we had done in the past was we sent out like text campaigns to anybody who signed up and just said, hey, just a reminder, you can come in and visit the food pantry, and maybe here's some things that we have, to kind of reach out to them afterwards. And we've seen some students come every week and some come once a month because that's what they need, and that's great. But if we did a day like this and we did get folks to sign up right there, because you guys were out there encouraging them to do that, maybe Ashley can follow that up, Ashley and Sheena, with a text campaign to those students who signed up, just to kind of, invite them in again.
Yeah, awesome. Any other ideas for this like kind of awareness, like street team? I'm gonna call you all a street team. I like it.
Street performance.
Yeah, right, there you go, yeah.
So I did know about like the housing beforehand, like from teachers, like they talked about it in like the syllabus. But I feel like they're kind of just talk about the housing, not like the requirements. Like I'm not saying like a whole lot of information, but kind of just like explain or encourage students to try and go and get help if they need it. Like, yeah.
So maybe circling back with faculty and helping them understand
Yeah.
what all we could do. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome, good stuff, yeah.
So to add on that thought, so there was another program that I was a part of. So we did class visits. We would contact teachers saying if they'll be fine and sort of stop and explain. We had like a PowerPoint, so it's like, we do know more about it than professors do, and that probably hearing it from someone closer to their age would probably help them connect more. And like, we would pass out forms or intake cards, like if they wanted us to contact them, or if they wanted to join, we would pick it up, or they could drop it off like in a box. And so that they don't have to feel pressured about like reading it to someone or feeling awkward or anything like that. That's another idea we could do, walk around or ask professors if it would be fine to take up like 5 minutes or something, just explain what Get Help is. So we can go more into detail about that and have actually students know what Get Help actually is.
That's an amazing idea. Yes, please.
In addition to
yeah.
the video. like,
Yeah, the video, you could show that, you could, like, we could get you some of the business cards that talk about food and housing insecurity on the back, like, and kind of equip you with like the right tools to go and have that conversation with your class. I think that's an awesome idea. Sandy, let's put that on the list. Thumbs up, she says, yes.
I came up with another idea, it might be more out of the reach, but can't we like reserve a spot and like have like an event? Like maybe I just have different people coming out and speak.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
you could certainly do that.
Reserve like maybe it's like Spectrum Theater, you can have like people come out, there's have students attend.
Kind of raise awareness. There is a movie, so Sarah Goldrick Robb, she is the person who basically wrote the book on student hunger and homelessness on college campuses. She runs the Hope Center that does the survey, so she is the pro, right? We had her come into training, like to Learning Day 2 Januaries ago to help like educate faculty and staff about it. But there's a movie that she and a news anchor,
Soledad O'Brien.
Soledad, yeah, O'Brien, yep. So they did a documentary about the student experience. So we could like, as an opener, maybe show the video that we made of our students and then show that documentary. We have the rights to it for campus. And that would be kind of sweet, right? And then have some resources there, that students could talk
Like
to.
an evening show, like 6:30 or something.
Oh, that's a great idea. Very cool. Rachel, did you have something else?
Yeah, earlier, I was just saying the flip side of the coin, and it's ideal to address the students that need help, but also in doing that, address the students, other students, perhaps more privileged, to have empathy. And
Yeah.
so having more of these students come in, volunteer and work together on this is also important. Otherwise, we're going to continue to go down this path.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, and we've had, like, Ashley's organized some honor student volunteer opportunities, and The garden club, I think, is an amazing example of like working to garden, so to provide food for the food pantry. Like that is like, that's like the, you know, like light beams coming, you know, yeah, that. Robin?
With if it's possible, the laptops, what are the COVID-19 protocols and procedures, if multiple, a lot of people use the laptops and such?
Yeah, those laptops are checked out to students for at least a semester, as long as they need them.
No, I was talking like for the events and such, if there was laptops
Oh.
there, if multiple people using laptops. those are-
Oh, yeah, we can get some wipes and make sure that like we wipe them down every time. That's a good idea. Yeah, totally. Well, I don't want to take up any more. I know you guys have 20 minutes and probably a couple things left to talk about. You can tell that Sandy and I, and Ashley is a huge part of this too, are extremely passionate and extremely fired up. And really, your input and your feedback matters. We've involved students the whole way. And we want to keep doing that. And again, we need your help. So I would look to Sandy and I will get together in the next couple business days and start putting some things together and asking you guys for dates that work and some ideas, try to capture everything that you talked about. And then we'll get some things moving along. Thank you. Thanks for everything that you guys have done for this stuff. This is big stuff. So we appreciate it. And there's tons of sources. So we'll share these slides with you, but if you guys want to take the deep dive, like the survey results, all the information, feedback from students, all of that is in this presentation. So you can all reference that if you want to do that. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thanks for coming out.
One big question I have, so if we did want to volunteer for the booth, would we email you or would we have to sign a form or something for that?
Yeah, I think Sandy and I, we'll work on that and we'll maybe make a schedule and people can just fill in time slots that work for them. This is a fresh new idea today, so we'll put the kind of bones of it together and then make sure y'all have an opportunity to sign up for it. That would be amazing. Cool. Good stuff.
All right, anyone else have anything about the presentation or anything they want to add? Cool. At this time, I'm opening up the floor to any of the student organizations that are here, if they have any updates or if there's anything they want to talk about that's going on with their organization. We would love to hear any updates. But I have any updates, go ahead.
We've been working on a little event. I shouldn't say little, we got a lot of GVSU students and faculty responding. November 8th is our Decolonizing Diet event. It's a culinary speaker series that we've been working on since prior to the pandemic. So we've got Werner involved and Tari, our NASO, Native American Student Organization advisor. There is an online link. I have a QR code, so if you're interested, my email is on the bottom of this flyer. So if you contact me, I can send you the online link. But we are about half full. So if you are interested, or any of your other organizations, any students or faculty that you can think of that want to come to this, please email me and let me know. And if you want to help tape up a flyer somewhere, I'm happy to distribute that as well. Thank you. It's on November 8th at 6. Yes, Blaine.
The flyers, our office can help put all of those up.
Good timing.
That's what we do. So I can take them, we'll stamp them so that they're approved for posting, and then we can get them up on all the boards.
Okay, I didn't even know about stamping and approved for posting. These are good things to know.
Perfect.
Can you share which organization you're from for those who are new?
Yep, so this is NASO, Native American Student Organization, and Secchi Institute, and it's part of our grant work through the Native American Heritage Fund. Otherwise, I don't think we would have had enough in our student account to bring all these panelists in. And then we also, it's the second half of our grant work. The first half was a trip to the Zebulon Center to learn more about our local First Nations of Indigenous peoples and residential schools. And of course, it's become more mainstream knowledge in the last year. So we want to continue the generational trauma healing. We want to continue the communication culture. So we'd appreciate your attention and assistance with that going forward.
Anyone else have any update? Go ahead, Robin.
Update for now, for ACU, the Asian Student Union. The main goal, right now is to promote and provide informative and factual information about COVID-19. And, with, mostly because of the difficulties and hardships from the increase of Asian hate crimes in COVID-19 as well.
Anyone else?
For the garden club, is there a certain timeline on when those planners are gonna be done? Like, are y'all shooting for early spring or anything like that?
I think we're hoping to, obviously, like, before next spring if possible, but if we can, we meet next week, Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. and our hope is to kind of set like some like times officially then to hopefully get some of it done this fall. That way they're just ready to be planted in the spring.
Are y'all gonna let that be kind of open to all students to come volunteer, help build those, or is it garden club only?
I think some of it was gonna depend on tools and like we were actually gonna discuss whether it would, some of that we wanted to like open up actually and figure out some of the rules, because it's like power tools and things like that. Like, so if we like need to pre-cut things like at like the house first and then bring it where it's only like the screws and like screwdrivers, that we could probably open up. Obviously, we don't want just any student coming and trying to use a power tool. Otherwise,
Yeah, I think a lot of that, this project is so new to us that we have a lot of other conversations to have before we get started. And then we'll post everything on Writer Connect to welcome any support and in any of those efforts. Yeah, thank you for asking.
Anyone else have anything? Yeah, hello. I don't think we've met you yet.
Hi, my name is Remington. You can just call me Remy for short. So I'm the student representative from Standout, which is the Gay Straight Alliance for GRCC. Basically, we represent LGBTQ students, and allies are welcome to join in as well. I actually emailed Brendan last night about showing up late because right now we were kind of just like really disorganized because of COVID-19 and being able to come to meetings. So I'm glad to be able to attend the meeting and be able to represent us here.
Thank you for being here. Okay. All right, anyone else? All right, so for our next town hall meeting, we're gonna have Veteran Services join us, so be sure to check that out. That'll be November 4th. So we hope to see you guys there, and I want to thank you all for coming to our meeting today.
Thank you for having us.
I
love it. Someone speak your friends during the
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you know your way out.
I figured you may want.
Don't forget your
I've
coat.
seen all this.
It's so cold.
I don't have a day off for school.
Sure, you had a
Alert
meeting.
people to